YouTube, it's your boy TheChocDoc, and we are back once again. This time for me to give you everything you need to know to get that application on 10, okay? Y'all see what I did with, like, again, 10. Y'all didn't like that? I don't know, I thought it was pretty cool, but it's fine. So if you've seen my last video where I outlined everything that you need to do to get a full scholarship, which you should watch. That one kind of focused more so on like the experiences that you need to have and the things that go into making a good overall medical school candidate. But the missing piece with that is actually how you put all of those things together in your application. So this video is gonna give you the tips that you need on how to actually sell yourself to the admissions committee on paper. You can have all of the experiences, but if you can't produce a narrative that will holistically bring everything together, then you still come up short. So we're gonna handle that in this video. So for those of you who are new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you return, you already know how we get down. Roll it. So in this video, basically we're gonna go in the order of giving you general keys that you need for your overall application altogether. Then I'm gonna give you concrete examples from what I did in order to earn the scholarship that I received. And hopefully you'll be able to see those keys actually in action. So first, for the keys, the very first key that I have for you is always personal over professional. Personal over professional. You, in your medical school application, you got almost unlimited spaces where you can be like professional, suited, booted. No. You need to take advantage of every opportunity you can for them to get to know you as a person. So make sure your tone that you write everything in is always more personal, conversational, and relatable, so that they can get an idea of exactly who you are and they can get to know the real you and not the professional medical facade of who you pretend to be. So you got to think about this. If you are an admissions committee and you got 10,000 applications in front of you, basically all they have is your online dating profile. Like, they sitting here and looking at all these like bachelors and bachelorettes, and they gotta decide who they want to go on a date with, who they want to give an interview to. So you on your profile talking about you like smooth jazz, like, and enjoy long walks on the beach and sipping tea with the stop. Like, who are you? The real you. Unless that's who you are, then you might want to lie a little bit. The second key is show, don't tell. You want to be able to use your application to demonstrate like the passion and the commitment and the understanding that you have of clinical medicine without having to come out and directly say it. I always try to use your experiences as a way to demonstrate these things instead of actually saying it word for word on the application. Your third and next key is impact over explanation. And this especially applies to the experiences and personal statement sections, where you want to be extremely clear in what you learned from the experience instead of just overly explaining what the experience was. So you can use your characters on the AMCAS to tell me that you shadowed on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. under Dr. XYZ, and that you did this, but you're wasting unnecessary characters when you can be telling me how you grew from the experience. They want to hear about your people skills. They want to hear about how you learned, how you grew. Ask yourself, how did you change from the experience? How did your perception change? What skills that are also useful in medicine did you practice throughout that experience? And elaborate on those instead of just giving a professional description of what actually happened. And your fourth and final key is to flex to see complexity. You did not come this far as a medical school applicant to be modest on the application. Like, drop it off. What other chance you don't get to do it? Huh? But in your flex, you want to make sure that you are intentional in showcasing as many dimensions of yourself as you can, especially when it comes to choosing your most meaningful experiences. So for my personal experience, I chose a community service experience, a leadership experience, and a teaching experience, just to give me more well-roundedness as an applicant. And I'm gonna tell you the unfortunate truth, like, nobody really cares what your most meaningful experiences actually were. Whoops. You need to be intentional in making sure that you showcase as many sides of yourself as you can. So if you had 3 research experiences and on every single one you had an amazing time, you discovered a different cure to cancer on each one, oof, you go. Good job. But we don't care. That's the problem. Never rob yourself of the opportunity to show an additional side to who you are. Because if they don't see it on paper, they won't see it. You got one shot. So instead of repeating something that they saw somewhere else or overemphasizing something that's been said over and over again, you gotta spread it out and be very intentional in how you use that space. And that also goes with choosing your recommenders too. So the formula is usually at least 2 science professors, 1 from your major if you're not science major, and then the rest can come from wherever. Use that opportunity to show diversity in all of your experiences too. Don't. All right. Now what we're gonna do is act like it's not 6.5 hours later from when I recorded the first half. We wanted to like lose power all of a sudden in the whole house. I don't know. But we're here. Here we go. So I'm gonna give you an example from my experiences and show you the tips being put into play. Let me get my little recorder going. I just learned how to screen record, y'all, so you already know what's gonna happen now. These edits are about to get serious. For our most meaningful experience, it's just another reminder at the top to use your experiences session to talk about the transformative nature of each experience. Do not waste space on your application reiterating things they already know. They know what you did. Now it's your chance to tell them how those experiences changed you and how it brought out different aspects that can actually apply to being a doctor or to the field of medicine. So, be as conversational as possible. The first example is going to be my study abroad experience in Mexico while I was at Howard. Notice how it reads like a story and not like a professional interview description. While we were in Oaxaca, we did this and we did this. I really brought you into my world and took you along the journey with me, and I helped you to connect by giving a narrative account. Take them on that ride with you and illustrate the things that you took away from the experience in a story form where they feel like they're having a conversation with you. That way they have an idea of what person to expect when they get you in the interview, because they already know what kind of student you are. So that was the first one. I'm gonna go ahead and go down to the second one and just pause right here and let you get an idea of how this one went. You know I talk about stepping in pretty much every video. Y'all know during my time at Howard, I was on the step team, and I also coached step during my time there. So go ahead and you can see that. Pause the video if you need to, and I'm gonna go ahead and move on. So I realized when I originally did the video that I only included my most meaningful experiences, but these are examples from other areas in my application where I only did like the regular experiences too. Still following the same format of briefly describing the experience, stating the relevance of it to me and then its relevance to medicine. You can see that in these two, and then I'm gonna scroll down for you to see that in these two as well. Even with the experiences that I gave you, I never was able to articulate that well. It took a actual long time for me to go back and actually ask myself these questions and try to figure out, okay, what point was it, or what points specifically turned me on to medicine in this way or in this way, or at what points did I practice this skill or this skill. And the hardest thing is trying to identify those highlights. But once you got them, you can articulate your passion and your purpose for medicine in a way that's so natural, because you've already done the hard work on the front end. So in the end, it's up to you. There's literally no experience that can go to waste. I don't care if you didn't do nothing for your 4 years at college but Instagram model. Did you Instagram model? Or did you work to improve mental health by providing positive self-images for people for all shapes and sizes? The choice is yours. However you sell it, it's how they gonna buy it. Own your experiences, own your value as an applicant, and people have no choice but to buy it. Thank you all again for tuning in. Once again, I hope that application is now on 10. If you have any questions or any concerns, you know I'm always available as a resource. Drop a comment and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. And I'll see y'all next time.